Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, the 4th day of November 2024. I hope you're safe and healthy today. I hope your family is safe and healthy. I hope you enjoyed your weekend and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are trying their best to save lives. Blessings upon those also that pick up garbage to keep our streets, cities, and sidewalks clean. Blessings also upon those that make deliveries of things like people, food, water, and mail for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create demands for these industries. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, senior citizens, homeless in the streets of the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So now, there's a couple of things going on in Knicks world. The most important thing is that the Knicks are getting ready to play Houston tonight. And that the Knicks do have a little bit of payback for Houston because we got robbed in Houston this past season. In that game, the Knicks were shorthanded and they were still going to beat Houston, but there were some really bad calls that went against the Knicks that caused that loss to be made possible. So the Knicks will come in today fully healthy, comparatively speaking. Not fully healthy, but comparatively speaking. With OG, McCall, Brunson, El Gato Grande, and Hart. Coming off the bench is Deuce, Sins, and Campaign. And so the Knicks will be coming for blood today. I expect them to come and give Houston. Now, Houston's a good team. They really have improved. They got a nice combination of young players and vets. A team that's on the rise. Dylan Brooks, we know about. Fred VanVleet, we know about. Of course, they have, and then the young talent like Jabari Smith Jr., Alperen Sengun, very, very good players. Jalen, I forgot Jalen's name, but they got a lot of Jalen Green. They got a lot of young talent. And they're mixing in some very good veteran pieces with that young talent. So they're a team on the rise. They're really, to me, in the advanced stage of the next step coming out of development and going into a playoff contention role. They're in the West, so it's a bit tough for them. But that means for the Knicks is they're going to present, a challenge today. But it's a good challenge because the Knicks are the better team. And so it'll be good for the Knicks to come into Houston and play these guys tough and hopefully get a W in here. It'll only help us. So that's the first thing we need to talk about. But the secondary thing, this is the thing. In Knicks Nation is probably one of the biggest sports nations on the planet. I mean, to me, the soccer nations are bigger. Soccer is a worldwide, literally, worldwide sport. And many countries that don't get into basketball, into soccer, they call it football around the world. So that's the biggest sport. But in the United States, there's, every team has their fan base, okay? And, the Yankee fan base, in the United States and around the world in baseball, huge, huge nation is Yankee Nation. Well, Knicks Nation is up there. It's a huge nation. It's a worldwide empire nation is Knicks Nation. That's why they're worth so much money. But you have a small contingent, but because the nation is so large, that small contingent makes a lot of noise. That's really stupid. But you have the majority, what I would say, of Knicks Nation are the most intelligent basketball people on the planet, have a more intelligent outlook of pro basketball. And so they just not the loudest ones, okay? But they do exist, and they exist in a large part of Knicks Nation. So the Knicks fans there's a lot more knowledgeable basketball fans among Knicks Nation. And you can see it at the Garden, how they react to certain ways. If they see the team dogging it, they'll let them know. If they see the team giving forth supreme effort, even if they're losing, they'll give them the ovation, because that's how we are in New York. So most of the time, we understand what's happening and what's important with the New York Knicks. Right now, the New York Knicks are legit championship contenders. Even the greatest haters of the Knicks know, and they don't even like to hear it, but the Knicks are legit chip contenders this year. So one of the things that in the past, ain't now, but in the past that have caused the Knicks problem is distractions. Distractions will cause a team to lose their edge, and cause a team to lose their position, and cause a team to lose where they might have otherwise won, especially the distractions in the locker room. That is why there's certain players the Knicks would not get, though people don't understand. Some we need to go, as soon as they hear somebody, they need to go get them, regardless of how big a distraction it would be. Distraction is something you got to protect the locker room from. And that's part of what the Don does when the Don don't give media all kind of access. What he's doing is he's not only keeping what he does close to the vest, but he's reducing the possibility of distractions in the inner sanctum of the Knicks. Smart move, especially in New York. New York is probably one of a few teams that this is very important. Like Oklahoma City Thunder, there's no media hardly, down there. I worry about, what I'm saying? But a place like New York or Boston or the Lakers, distractions could take over a team and cause them to lose games by losing concentration on what the most important stuff that they got to take care of is, which is on the court, right? So the Don and the Knicks management, what makes them to me the best the Knicks have ever had is one of the things is this: they keep distractions away from the Knicks. Okay, they don't let any, and this is why I say to you all in Knicks Nation, the small contingent that's the knuckleheads, I'm trying to help y'all. Listen, if the Don ain't saying it, if Mark Stein is saying it, or Brian Windbag, don't pay no attention to it. If it ain't coming from the Don, and the Don will let somebody like Ian Begley know, or Shams will find out, don't pay no attention to it. The thing is, you get big platforms that put out continual streams of crap. Some of the crap comes to pass, like the Cat to New York trade. But that don't mean the streams when they put them out wasn't crap. Some of y'all didn't get that. Because certain people guessed right on Cat. They was like, oh, see, you shouldn't be calling it clickbait. No, it was clickbait. It just happened to come true this time. Analysis is what causes you to understand what somebody know what they talking about. Proper analysis, not clickbait. Case in point, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Now, Giannis is unhappy in Milwaukee, and for good reason. They went and they won a chip already, and they won a chip with guys like Jrue Holiday, who's no longer there, and now he just won his second chip helping Boston. So since they won the chip the first time in a desperate move to keep Giannis happy, they went and traded a bunch of guys they shouldn't have to go get Dame Dollar. And again, this whole big three and it's played out. I've been trying to tell you all that. Just because you get two supremely gifted ball players don't mean they fit. And if it doesn't fit, you must have quit. Right? So Dame wasn't a good fit from the beginning. Why? You need defense. And you just gave away your defense when you traded Jrue Holiday. You just gave it away. Your perimeter defense. Okay? So, and then you got older dudes and dudes that's now, the injuries are piling up like Chris Middleton. And you don't, so now it ain't working. And a competitive pro athlete, that's one of the things that makes them pro athletes on a high level like Giannis. Very competitive. He wants to win as many times as he can. And so he's realizing he's coming to the last part of his career at a high level, at an MVP level. And he don't have no pieces around him that's going to help him get that next chip. So now he's unhappy and he may want out. But as far as the Knicks are concerned, that ship has sailed. We need to understand that ship has sailed, because right now, if before this, think of it like this, before this news came out, was the Knicks a championship contender? To the majority of the intelligent ones among Knicks Nation, yes, we know that for sure. Championship contender. Okay? They have all the pieces, especially with the cat trade. They ready. So they can't get any more ready than they are right now. Does that make sense? So they can't go get Giannis and be more ready than they are now. They're ready. Okay? They're going to sell out the Garden regardless. So it ain't about selling tickets. They're going to sell out. Already you see Jalen Brunson jerseys all over New York. And you still got other players coming into that same prominence, like Cat, like El Gato Grande. Everybody is coming on board now. We don't need to tinker with this team. Nor do we need the distraction of Giannis Antetokounmpo. And what I'm coming to is this. Mark in your mind the people causing this rumor to blow up. Because these are people that in the future, if you're wise, you can safely ignore them. Even if what they say eventually comes to pass, they're just being paid to get clicks and be distractions. I named Mark Stein as one. He might have said some things that made sense, but he's really just trying to make rumors. Okay? Him, Brian Windhorst, whatever, Stephen A. Smith, and others. Others that are not as big as those guys. Those guys got huge platforms. Brian Windhorst, for example, he comes on national TV. That's about as big as you could get in sports. When you're on national TV, you're in a big situation. Okay, on a regular basis for years, he's been on national TV. Okay, that's somebody that's getting plugged. They're getting plugged. Okay, now what happens is you get people in platforms on YouTube, and they get maybe in a Bleacher Report or on X, and they want to be Brian Windbag. They want to be that big platform. They want that to blow up like they want to blow up like that. And so they'll try to mimic their heroes with clickbait. Okay? And then you'll know they're getting close because they'll start to get some of these clickbait type big platform on their own channel. And they're trying to blow up. Hey, that's their business. But I am not talking to people like that. I am talking to people that are either already in a large contingent of Knicks Nation that is at least thoughtful and analytical about basketball, pro basketball, or those that want to be, and stop being fool chasing clickbait. Okay? And so you're going to hear these rumors, and all it is a distraction. That's it. Because Giannis ain't coming here. There's no need to touch this team. All we got to do as far as the Knicks is get first Precious back, get Shaman on board, and bring Mitch Rob back and keep everybody else healthy, and we rolling. We don't need nobody else. The NBA has a problem at MSG. And they're trying to use it to create garbage and distractions. But you see, Tom Thibodeau keeps them distractions out of his locker room, and the Don keeps it out of the management. And if they're not saying anything, don't listen to it. Y'all enjoy your Monday. Enjoy the game tonight. Let's get this W. Shalom.